go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, what's going on, family? We back for another episode of the Winning Shot, man. We're gonna pivot this week and talk about the NFL. Man, we had some great games this week in preparation for the Christmas Day games. So we had Houston play Kansas City in Kansas City. Kansas City it controlled most of the game, ended up winning 27-19, man. Y'all boys watch the game. How'd y'all feel about it?
Yeah, I definitely watched the game as a number one Chiefs hater. I was in full attendance watching that game, hoping that CJ Stroud would beat the Kansas City Chiefs. He, of course, did not get it done, so that leaves one team to get it done, and we'll discuss all that later. But it's another day that the Chiefs somehow put out a victory. There's some of them wins this year I just can't explain their wins. It's just like, is it the Lord on their side? I would venture to say no, but it was a game of not really ups and downs. CJ Stroud got to make some better plays. They were in it at one point right before Tank Dell got hurt. They tied it up or made it super close. And so I was like, okay, this could be something. I think after that happened, the team morale kind of went down from there. So Patrick came in, was Patrick, and they won the game. So coming into the game, he had that injury that they talked about, his ankle or something to that effect. Didn't seem to affect him at all in the game. So you know how that goes. They take them needles or whatever, take them shots, so they can get better for the games, and they win the game.
I didn't get a chance to see it, but like John said, the Chiefs win again some way, somehow. They should have more than one loss. As a Broncos fan, we should have beat them, but they decided to let somebody get through and block a field goal. Crazy, but they found a way to win. They improved to 14-1. The Tank Dell injury was probably the biggest takeaway from that game.
Yeah.
With the Texans losing him. So we'll see. Texas has been struggling a little bit these past few weeks, past few games. So we'll see if they can turn it back up going into the playoffs.
Yeah, so I ain't watched the Texans much. Like I said, like Hundo said, I was watching the college football games, but every time I turned it on, man, Kansas City was driving. Man, honestly, like I know we talk about the injuries that the Texans had on offense, but it just seemed like even their defense was shot. Y'all feel like, with CJ, they say he hasn't been having the best year. You feel like it's a sophomore slump or just the team's just laden with injuries?
Me personally, bro, I think that the injuries play a part into it, but I think CJ also plays a part into it as well. Early on, that Nico had just came back from injury. They had signed Stephon Diggs, and so coming into the season before the injuries happened, it was like, oof, that's gonna be a crazy three-headed tandem wide receiver with Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, and Nico Collins. And early on, the boys were cooking. But as those injuries started to come in with Stephon and the ACL, and now with Tank Dell out versus the season with the ACL as well and a kneecap, is relying all on Nico and Joe Mixon. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be enough for them to get it done this postseason again. I think that their postseason run will be short and lived. They may make it out to the wild card, but it's honestly not looking too hot right now for them to do that. So, yeah, that's all I got for the Texans, man. It's unfortunate. I like the team, I like the build. Like I said, coming into this season, they really had a good makeup of offense and defense. So I was expecting them to kind of blow their division out the water. They really have too much comp on paper. But as the season progressed, it was like, this isn't who I thought they were. But I can say that for a lot of teams. So they aren't the only ones.
I think the injuries definitely play a part. Just looking at the numbers now, the man Stroud is the second most sacked quarterback in the league. He's been sacked 47 times. Clearly, something's going on with that offensive line. I know they got Laramie Tunsil. I don't know who else they got on that offensive line, but clearly they got to figure something out with that, or with him throwing the ball away, or whatever the case may be. But I definitely do think the injuries played a part in it. Like you said, Diggs going down early, and trying to figure out that chemistry early on as well. I think he'll be fine. I think, like John said, for this postseason, I don't think they're gonna be able to make a run or do nothing crazy, but they should be fine next year.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely think it sucks being a Colts fan, man, because the division was wide open this year, and so especially with the injuries and stuff, we won some more games, man. We would have been tied for the division. So I would definitely want to see CJ and D'Amico do well, but I just don't see them getting far with all those injuries, especially with the Tank Dell injury now. I think, like you said, John, they signed Deontay Johnson. I don't think that's going to be a needle mover. So, all right, do y'all think that the Kansas City is the team to beat this year? I know where John Alliance is, so I'm not even going to start with him. Hunter, what do you think?
Um, I think in the AFC, I mean, you have to say yes. I mean, they're the number one team. They're the back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Like, yes, they're the team to beat. You got to beat them when it matters. So come playoff time, we gonna see. Will it be Lamar? Will it be Russell Wilson? Will it be Josh Allen? Will it be CJ Stroud? Who will it be? So you got to go through the top team, the top dog, and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are the top dogs. So they're definitely the team to beat in the AFC at least.
John, is it Chiefs
Yeah.
or are you
No, I agree. I mean, the Chiefs are the best team in the NFL right now, best record, back-to-back Super Bowl champions, bro. I mean, until they've been beaten in the playoffs, they are the team to beat, bro. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No matter how bad Patrick is playing this year, they've been winning. They won 14 games with him having a bad season. So that says enough in itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, for them to have the best record in football and him not to be playing up to what he usually plays at, that says a lot about, you know what I'm saying, his team, the coaching staff, the defense, everybody. So the playoffs, like I said, we're going to see what happens. We're going to see if all this stuff catches up to them. I think that it will personally. But we're going to see, man. We're going to see. They got another big matchup coming up this week. It's in Pittsburgh. They were on the road. They were at home last week. So, yeah, it's in Pittsburgh this week. So they got another big matchup. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But, yeah, man, we're going to see. It's not – all this stuff is just fluff now. We're just getting to be ready for the main course playoffs, man. Let's get to it.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely got the Chiefs being the team to beat this year, especially in the AFC. So that is a perfect segue to the next game that happened. So we had Pittsburgh playing Baltimore in Baltimore. This is the first time Baltimore. John, I'll let you go ahead and kick it off. What was your thoughts on the game, man?
Boy, oh boy, what a win in Baltimore this past weekend. Man, let me tell you, this game was huge for a couple of different reasons, bro. One of which was because the division's up on the line. And had we lost this past weekend, the Steelers would have clinched the division. They already clinched the playoff spot, so they would clinch the division. And we would not have clinched the playoff spot this weekend, so we would need help. So that was the main storyline. Two, the MVP race and its legitimacy for Lamar would have been out of contention had he lost this week. We would have lost the last 9 of 10 to the Pittsburgh Steelers had we lost this past weekend. So it was a lot up on the line for the Ravens this past weekend coming into this game. So with this win, we were able to have a tie now for first place in the division, and all we need is one loss from Pittsburgh for us to clinch the division. We did still clinch a playoff spot with this win, even though we didn't clinch the division. We did clinch a playoff spot with this win against Pittsburgh, as well as Lamar Jackson's MVP candidacy. I think chances also improved with the win against a very quality team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, being that once again they're one of the top teams in the AFC at this time. So I think a lot was on the line this weekend, and I think that not only that, we also handed Pittsburgh the biggest loss that they've taken this entire season, a 17-point loss at home. And so that also showed once again that, man, not only is this rivalry, and that's another thing. Had we lost again, it wouldn't have been a rivalry no more. It would have been just been kind of like little bro. But thank God we won, and so we're able to kind of say that we're not necessarily a little bro. So we got some more winning to do. They definitely still have a winning record against us in the past 10 games, but we got this one, and that's what counts. The last game is your best game until your next game. So, man, it was big on all those fronts. So glad we got that win and able to keep pushing forward and helping to solidify our playoff chances and pushing towards the playoffs.
Hey, that boy sounded like a coach. Say that again. He said, "Your last win is your best win
until your next win."
Okay. That boy dropping bars.
What's your thoughts?
That was a good win for the Ravens. The Steelers' offense been struggling the past couple weeks. I think that's another conversation to be had. Is Russell Wilson the guy to get it done? Do they may need to put Justin Fields in? I don't know. So we're gonna see. Like John said, laid it all out for you. Division's still open, so we're gonna see what happened these last couple games for both of them in the divisional race. And Lamar trying to get his third MVP. So we'll see.
Yeah, I didn't watch much of this game, but man, like when I watch the highlights, I just think Lamar's the difference. Literally, like when you have to look on the screen and say, okay, who's the best player? It's clearly Lamar. Like even with that defense, man, they were trying to crowd him in so that he wouldn't scramble to get out the pocket, and he was still able to make some elite passes. And I think the difference is this year you see that the biggest steal of the offseason was Derrick Henry for sure. Like the fact that y'all got him for I think $9 million, I believe. Like
yeah,
there's nothing you can do. Even Pittsburgh couldn't stop him, and so it's just like playoffs. It's just if y'all lean heavy on him and force the defense to come down, hopefully you got playmakers on the outside. So I don't know, man. If the business is up for grabs in Pittsburgh, they can't fumble it. I do not trust Pittsburgh on the road anywhere in the playoff game. So I don't trust them at all.
I don't know what down.
I don't. Not in the AFC playoffs. They're a team that I can say, man, they can go on the road and beat, except the Broncos.
They got a defense. That defense gonna keep them in the game.
As long as they're healthy.
You trust Russell Wells to be the difference with anybody outside the Broncos and Chargers right now.
Say that again.
Outside of the Broncos and Chargers, do you trust Russ and the Steelers to go anywhere in the playoffs on the road and beat a team?
Yes, Houston.
About to say Houston.
That's fair. That's fair.
So they got three out of the possible 7.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, dang. Yeah, I forgot about all them injuries. But yeah, that's true. But any of the contenders, I still don't trust, man. Like they're not going into Arrowhead. They're not going into Baltimore. Like that, and they're definitely not going into Buffalo, in my opinion. But that's only if like it's not a blizzard in Buffalo and it's like a 6-3 game. Then I think Mike has a chance, but right now I don't think so. All right, so we're gonna go into some of the games that happened yesterday. So I guess the game of the day that everybody's been talking about is this Philly versus Washington game. Philly was up, in the fourth quarter, and Jayden wheeled them back, scored a touchdown in the last second. This is Jayden's 4th game-winning drive this season. Obviously, we know the story with who was the Hail Mary against?
The Bears.
Yeah, the Bears, right? And he had another one versus the Bengals and one with the yesterday with the Philadelphia Eagles, man. So I want to start to get y'all boys' thoughts on the game. What was y'all boys' takeaway?
I'll start, John. Right. But Jalen Hurts going down, that was a big storyline. And boys, Kenny Pickett came in, immediately threw a touchdown to AJ Brown. But yeah, that injury was big. That changed the game, changed the direction of the game. Saquon was out there eating, doing what he could to try to put the team on his back, but it just wasn't enough. Jayden Daniels came through in the clutch and got it done. Definitely rookie of the year. It's not a question about it. He's definitely offensive rookie of the year. He solidified that. He's been balling. He's been having a great year. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with Hundo. Jayden definitely solidified rookie of the year with that win yesterday, and also kept the Commanders in the playoff race. Man, I think that before this game, people are starting talking about Bo Nick's gonna, take it over for Rookie of the Year? Are the Cardinals, are the Commanders legit? You know what I'm saying? Because they've been losing some games and it hadn't just been looking good in recent weeks. And so I think yesterday's win solidified a lot for the Commanders. But also for me, it was just like it was in big part, like y'all talked about earlier, to Jalen Hurts going down with that concussion. Philly's been great this whole season. And that loss really hurt them. And it really shows how for any team who to lose their star player or star quarterback that they pay a lot of money to, man, you lose that guy and your team, no matter how good the rest of it is, because they still had Saquon, AJ, Devonta, they still all them guys in the defense, and they still weren't able to do enough to win that game. So it really just shows you how important the quarterback position is and having a good quarterback is. And Kenny Pickett didn't even play terrible when he was in there, but he just didn't do enough. He just wasn't Jalen Hurts. So I think that that division was already over anyway. The Eagles already won that division, but still it allows the Commanders now to gain some confidence going into these last couple games before the playoffs start and to potentially upset somebody in that first round of the playoffs. Because I think that Philly will wind up being the 3 seed, if I'm not mistaken.
They're currently second.
Oh, sorry, right, the 2 seed because the Lions and the Vikings are the same division.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, 2 seed, which will still be helpful because that puts the Commanders at the 5 or the 7?
No, they're at 7 right now. They're 10-5.
They'll play each other again. If everything stays the same in these last 2 games, and they'll play in Philly first week in that wildcard weekend, which will be crazy, game. So they could be setting themselves up for a crazy matchup, man. It's always crazy when the team splits those divisional games to play that third matchup. I know it quite well. But I'm interested in these last couple games, man. We got 2 more games left in the season off, and then, like I said, it's big boy football. So we're gonna see who's gonna be a grown man and who's gonna be a little boy.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think, like Hundo said, man, Jayden's got the award. Like it's clear, and I think that Washington has a good team. I don't know if they have enough to make a run this year. I thought Marshall Lattimore was a steal, but after the game I watched yesterday, I don't think it was a steal. I think he could not cover AJ Brown.
Hey, he playing some dogs, bro. That man AJ Brown is a grown man, bro.
He had a couple good plays yesterday too, though.
Well, there's a couple plays I forgot who was on the other side. I had to look at the back of the jersey and make sure it was a Lattimore on the other end because, boy, he was getting toasted. But I think both of those teams are good, man. I think the Eagles have such a great roster. Like it's going to obviously depend on what what kind of hurts we get back because with the concussion, I don't think it was a serious injury. I think it's just a concussion. So once he clears that, they'll be back to normal.
I will say, just to add on to that, with the Eagles and really any of these teams for real, it's gonna come down to health.
Yeah.
With the Eagles specifically, like we saw when AJ Brown was out, we saw when Devontae Smith was out, like that's a totally different team. Like, they struggled offensively, didn't look too strong. Jalen Hurts goes down, Kenny Pickett comes in, they don't look too strong. So health is gonna be important. We just got to see how it play out for all these teams, really.
For sure. So with these last 2 games I want to talk about today, so you had Detroit playing Chicago. Detroit winning there, manhandled Chicago. And then you had Minnesota with the game-winning drive with Sam Darnold. And Justin Jefferson, after the game, he said that this team reminds him of the LSU team that won the national championship. So the reason why I brought those games up, man, is who do y'all boys have as the team to beat in the NFC?
Right now, dang, it's once again Hundo's point was great because the NFC is injury riddled, much more than the AFC is, bro. I mean, if you'd asked me this question probably last week or 2 weeks ago, I would tell you Detroit hands down. But right now, because of Detroit's injuries, they said they may be getting David Montgomery back for the playoffs, but it's not guaranteed. So that is a big detriment for them, plus all the defensive injuries that they have. Philly, you could say Philly because, I mean, currently they're the 2 seed, but once again, injuries. So it really just going to be interesting. I'm not even going to acknowledge that comment that Jettis made. I'm going to keep it a band with you, Jettis. That was a wild comment that you made, young man. You're the best. You're the best in number 2 actually wide receiver in the league this year because Jamar Chase is better than you. But this season. Let me specify this season. Let's specify this season. Jamar Chase is the best in the league wide receiver wise. Anyways, the comment that he made, I can't back it up. I personally don't foresee them being a team to beat in the playoffs. The Vikings. I think they are very good, but over Philly and Detroit, I don't foresee them being a team to beat. Now, like I said, could they pull off something? For sure. So I think that they're gonna be scary for somebody come that wild card weekend. But I don't know. The NFC is, because of those injuries, because it's not really solidified, I can't really give it a team to beat in the NFC. For me personally, I can't really give you one.
I'm going to answer Colin's question, but I got another question.
Okay.
Is Sam Darnold him?
I
personally will never say that he's him. I'm going to keep it a stat.
Yeah, I'm not going to say he's him, but I'm saying he's better than Kirk, and that's what they need right now. I think he has enough to win them a playoff game, but him means that I don't have anybody on the outside and I can still win you a Super Bowl. So, I can't say that.
Him means I can pay him top quarterback money and feel good about it, and I don't foresee the Vikings doing that at all.
Do they go back to JJ McCarthy next year?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, they don't have a choice. Who else you put there?
Resign Sam.
Who?
Resign Sam.
Yeah, but am I gonna do that when I got a rookie under contract?
That's coming off of a ACL injury. I just don't trust it. I mean, we hoping that he's good. I mean,
I don't think he's gonna be good at all. But I mean, my thing is this though: it's him and Sam Darnold. And here we go. I'm sorry, Pod. I'm a truther when it comes to the quarterbacks in this NFL, man. We got to start keeping it a stack when it comes to some of these quarterbacks. Sam Darnold's having a good season this year, but over the years, Sam Darnold has been below average.
It's a lot of factors that go into that, to be fair.
Right. Come on, John. Come on.
A lot of factors that go into that, to be fair.
We got to be fair. Because this is the thing, John. You got to think. Don't get into the mind of the quarterback. Think about Justin Jefferson. If we having a season like this and we go back to J.J. McCarthy and he sucks and we could have had Sam, no.
Now, once again, I brought this up the other day in the chat. I talked about you draft another quarterback. There's some guys coming out this year. And now you probably not going to give them a trade up to go get them. So I don't know what you would trade up to go get them guys. I don't know, trade up to go get a Cam, or trade up to get a Shador, trade up to go get a Jalen Milroe. I like some of these guys in Minnesota over JJ and Sam. Me personally. I can't speak for nobody else, but y'all see that name right there, John. I speak for me personally. So I would take a look at some other options before I sign Sam back. Because here's the thing. Sam, knowing he had a good season, he's not going to be cheap. So you have to pay him. You know what I'm saying? And so before you spend that money, well, you could spend it potentially elsewhere to fix some other holes or some other things that you're able to address.
I think Sam knows. Sam's been in poverty before most of his life. And once you experience a good thing, I think Buddy is willing to at least take 40. I don't think Buddy's getting crazy. He's not going in there with 60.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I got to pay you 40, I already got a rookie under contract, a first-round rookie under contract, that's a lot, bro. That's a lot. That's what I'm saying. That's a lot to think about. That's a lot to think about. So,
yeah, I don't know. I know what you think.
I think they're in an interesting position. I think coming into the season, I don't think Jettas was a believer in McCarthy. He probably wanted to keep Kirk Cousins, in all honesty. Like, now you got Sam Darnold, you got a whole different quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually playing, pretty solid, not bad. Now you decide to move on and go back to McCarthy. If I'm Jettas, I'm hot.
JJ might not even be the starter of Sam Lee because they still got Daniel Jones.
Oh, I forgot about him. I see.
Are they really gonna start Daniel Jones over JJ McCarthy though?
Hundo, he might look much different under Kevin McConnell. We're gonna be real.
Me personally, bro, all three of them boys like this. I don't have a third hand. So imagine my third hand, but like same level.
I think you got to go with Sam, man. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna work contract wise, but I think you got to go with the high hand. He's shown you what he can do in that offense. I don't think you just move on from. Of course, if he's asking for buku money, yeah, of course, let him walk, let him go get his bag somewhere else. But if you can work something out to where you're not taxing, like, okay, cool, we'll bring you back for 2 years or whatever. But yeah, they're in an interesting spot. We're gonna see. But going back to your question, team to beat in the NFC, I'm gonna have to say the Eagles still. I know they just lost to the Commanders, but like we talked about, Jalen Hurts went down. Like John said, the injuries definitely play a factor. But I just think that offensively and defensively, they probably look the strongest. They're probably the most healthiest out of the teams in the NFC, outside of Hurts going down, it's concussion. But we expect them to be back either next week or the week after, so nothing too crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Vikings, man. I think Vikings.
I swear, bro. Every time this man's trying to be different.
Big
you, John. He trying to be different.
I'm gonna let him explain this. Go ahead, bro.
I think these next couple weeks, man, Vikings will get a number 1 seed, and nobody's gonna want to go into Minnesota. And I think honestly, there's just too much noise around Philadelphia. I was gonna say Philadelphia, but it's just too much. Like, it's always something every weekday in the news, and I just feel like with the whole AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts thing, everybody says good. I just got to see it. So
question.
Yeah.
Going into these last couple weeks, the Vikings got to play the Packers and they got to play the Lions. Yeah. You said that they could possibly have the number 1 seed. You see them winning both of them games?
Yeah, for sure. Packers already clinched, and they know they can't get a number 1 seed. So they're going to beat the Packers, and Lions just injury riddled. I just don't see the Lions beating them again, honestly. Because that first game, the Vikings had the game. It was the Lions having that game-winning drive.
So basically, you saying the Packers just gonna lay down? You think they're just gonna lay down versus the Vikings?
They ain't gonna lay down, but I don't think they're gonna be as motivated.
You see what they doing or did to the Saints?
What's the Saints?
Hey, you think they just gonna throw in the towel? A divisional game, right? That's pride.
I don't think it's gonna be a blowout, but I don't think it's gonna be as close as people think. Like, I think Vikings gonna pull it out, and I think that last game is gonna be pivotal. And I just feel like the Lions are just too injury riddled this season. Me personally.
Now, I can agree with you on the fact that I think they'll beat the Packers. For one, they're at home, and I do now also disagree with you on the fact that it's not going to be like a good game or a close game, because I think that at the end of the day, these are grown men, and whether I'm not knowing if I can win the division or not, I'm still, like Hunter said, I'm a grown man playing for pride at the end of the day. So and your division opponent. So we're going to play our hardest. Now, I do think it's going to be a close game. I can see the Packers losing that game to the Vikings for sure. I can see that. But I can also see, on the flip side, I can see the upset as well. And then I can easily see the upset, actually, and see the Vikings going down. So,
I mean, I think the only thing is the team to beat versus like the Chiefs versus Vikings, like, it's a much clearer gap. I just feel like whoever gets that number 1 seed is going to make it to the Super Bowl, because Jared Goff, he's the same way. He's gonna need home field advantage, because I don't trust Jared Goff anywhere on the road. Same thing with Sam. But if they get the number 1 seed, I just don't see the team to compete with them offensively, and their defense is much better with Brian Flores. So,
question: do the Eagles still have a shot to get the number 1 seed?
I don't think anymore. I think it's between them. They had to win the Commanders game.
Yeah, I think that's true.
And so, like, that's my thing. It's like, man, the Eagles are a great team. like if you look on paper, they have a great roster. But it's like last year, how y'all just lose to the Bucks? It's just too much noise and dysfunction going on. I just hope that they can get to the Super Bowl in one piece, but it's like all this stuff going on, and I don't even trust Sirianni like that. I don't know what he does, but it's just like every week there's another headline. It's like, man, I don't think championship teams are built like that.
They got to get their play calling right, man, and get started earlier. They got off to a good start yesterday, so that was a good sign, I guess, for Eagles fans. They got off to a good start. It didn't start slow, but we gonna see, man. We gonna see.
All right, cool. All right, so I got a game for y'all boys, man. It's called Who's Better. So we're just gonna do rapid fire, and if there's any ones that y'all want to debate on, we're gonna sit there and debate. All right.
All right.
So, all right. So the first one, Baker Mayfield or Jayden Daniels.
Jayden
And this
Daniels.
too. This is only this year. We're not taking historical data. We're talking about who is better this year.
Jayden Daniels.
Hundo?
Jayden Daniels.
All right. Yeah, I got Jayden too. Jalen Hurts or Justin Herbert?
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts.
Okay. Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford?
Ooh. I'm gonna take Jared, but it's close. But it's close.
I'm gonna take Stafford.
Yeah,
they just been the Rams just been up and down, bro. They make me mad every week, bro. Like 1 week they show up and put up points, the next week they don't do nothing. Just like, bro, you got Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Like, come on, dog. Like, get them boys the ball, bro.
And that's why, for me, Jared Goff is better because he gonna consistently get his playmakers the ball. James Williams
is he, or are they gonna run the ball and he's just gonna be a game manager?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, hold on, because we're not gonna talk about Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams and are having great seasons still. So you can talk about them running the ball a lot, which they do. But I mean, when you got two dogs in the backfield and Jamar Gibbs, you got a plethora of weapons. That's my point. He's a plethora of weapons, just like Matthew. Except Jared is gonna use his.
One of them got a defense too, though.
I mean, yeah.
Stafford?
Huh?
Who are you talking about? Goff or Stafford?
Goff.
Yeah, Detroit.
I mean,
definitely good defense. But if we talking offensively, who gonna keep me on the field? Who gonna score touchdowns? I'm going for this season. I'm going Jared.
I trust the gunslinger Matthew Stafford.
Give me Matthew, man. Give me Matthew. All right. Brock Purdy or Tua?
They just played yesterday too, bro.
why you add that?
Granted, Purdy didn't play, but wait, did he play? Did Purdy play?
Yeah.
Purdy did play.
And they about to pay. You know what? I'm not getting started on that. Can I pick neither?
Is there a third?
Right. I gotta pick somebody. I guess I'm gonna take Tua because this team's better this year, and they're not at the playoffs yet. They're gonna be, but they're just not out there yet.
Hundo?
I don't know, man. Tua giving me like a similar to Matthew Stafford. It's just like up and down, bro. Like y'all got all these weapons, bro. Like y'all should be putting up 40 a game.
So true. So does Brock.
Brock Purdy a 7th round pick, though. That's the difference.
So, but see now, but you said no historical data. You throw historical data in there.
We can't. We
last season. You know what? See, you self said
we only going off of this season though.
That's what I'm saying. And this season for me,
I was just providing context and saying that he was a 7th round pick versus Tua, who was a what? 1st round pick?
They up, but hold on. Is Brock up for the same kind of money that Tua is? Yes or no?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. Okay then. That's then. So we got to judge them the same.
Hey, well, if we judging off of the past,
we're not judging off the past. We're judging off of are they going to potentially get paid the same? Because if that's the case,
he is going to get paid what Tua's getting paid.
Then
he's going to get paid more than Tua.
And so in that case, they have to be judged the same. So which is why I'm picking Tua, because Brock sucked this year.
Well, I'm gonna take Brock because he don't get hurt like that. he don't got concussion issues, and
Now you just throwing shots at the man injury history. I mean, but like, what are we doing here?
it affects his play on the field, bro.
I mean, his team is still potentially in the playoffs, while the 49ers already eliminated. So,
ooh, wow.
Hey, we talking about this year?
They about to get eliminated, bro.
Harder division.
Huh?
Brock got a harder division.
Facts.
Okay.
The only other team.
I mean, you play 6 division games a year. What about the other 11?
Injuries.
That's different.
Give me Brock Purdy, man. I'm gonna take Brock.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Purdy, man. Shout out to Purdy getting paid this season. All right, Bryce Young or Caleb Williams?
Bryce Young.
Yeah, Bryce Young, bro. Because, bro, the Bears got all of them weapons. They would have got all them weapons for that man. Ain't doing nothing.
Not a god doggone thing. Nothing at all.
Yeah, give me Bryce for sure.
I would hate to be a Bears fan right now, boy. I feel bad for y'all.
It does suck, bro. To have all the
Bears fans out there, y'all going through it.
No, y'all ready to crash out at any moment. Chicago already a crash out city.
Right. The crash out city.
no, y'all ready to crash out about them Bears right now. Because ain't no way they this bad.
No way, man. And it was crazy. This offseason, everybody was talking cash like this is a Super Bowl team. Like, wait.
He got the best weapons out of all the rookie quarterbacks.
I'm telling you. I said, he about to do something. What? Keenan?
They
DJ Moore? Swift? I mean, they drafted Rome Maduzier. I mean,
Komet, tight end. Come on,
Before we continue, if you're the GM and you could go back, do you still pick Caleb number 1 or you go Jayden?
I don't personally know what the issue is in Detroit right now. I mean, not Detroit, in Chicago. I don't know if it's Caleb or if it's coaching.
He's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. He's been sacked 60 times.
We got to talk about that.
Line is trash.
We got to talk about that too.
Offensive line is trash. Do you even want Jayden back there?
That's what I'm saying. Does the quarterback going to matter if I'm getting sacked 60 times? Just because Jayden can run, don't mean he can run away from everything.
Now remember I said Stroud was the second most. That's like a 12 sack gap.
That's true.
Between first and second. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, they could have got Joe Alt in the draft, but they wanted to go get fancy and get Odunze.
Hey, did y'all see the Chargers post the other day about Joe Alt delete?
No, I ain't see that.
Okay, that's fire.
So that is tough.
It was a video of Buddy blocking at right tackle.
Yeah.
Every time somebody was coming, they hit the delete button.
Okay, that's cold. I can't lie.
That's fire.
I'm gonna keep it a stat. The Chargers social media team is one of the best in the league. No cap.
Right, no cap.
They probably top. They definitely top 2, and they probably not 2. In all honesty with you. In all honesty with you, the Chargers. And I hate saying that because I know James gonna watch this later on. And James, boy, y'all social media team fire. I can't even hold you. Them boys is tough. And that right there is cold. Joe Alt delete is crazy.
That's fire. That's fire. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. All right, so let's keep going. Sam Darnold or Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Collin, why you ask that, bro?
I'm just going up this list.
Like, why did you? Where you got that list from? Did you make that?
No, it's a list on.
No way,
bro. Sam Darnold and Joe Burrow.
You just gotta pick one. It's rapid fire,
bro. Joe Burrow.
All right. Russell Wilson or Jordan Love?
Jordan Love.
Kyler Murray or Geno Smith?
Kyler.
Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts?
Dang, Joe Burrow on the list twice?
Twice? And Jalen Hurts on the list twice.
Hey, right, this is bogus.
This season?
Give me Joe Burrow, man.
I still say Joe. Yeah.
Joe Burrow killing it this year.
Yeah, Joe got a lot of passing yards.
They defense just trash.
All right, last one. Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
You already know my answers. MV3, man. Lamar Action Jackson. Talk to me nice.
Give me 1-7.
All right, Hundo, state your case.
Hey, bro. He doing the thing. He missing Diggs, missing his number one man. He going crazy.
What he said missing? What he said missing? Like he coming back.
He put the cape on.
He's not coming back.
He might come back. He might come back when he get back off an injury. He might come back next year, the year after that,
and Diggs might come back
3 years after that.
He is not coming back. Let me tell you this about Lamar Jackson and why he should be the third. His third MVP this season and back-to-back MVPs at that. Lamar Jackson is leading in every statistical category this season for an NFL quarterback. Lamar Jackson is on pace to have his best career year yet, and he's already won, once again, 2 league MVPs where he was already the top quarterback in that season as well. So when we talk about a league MVP, when we talk about an MVP trophy that is statistically given to the best quarterback in the league that year, I don't see, me personally, how we don't give it to the person who has the number one stat line for quarterbacks in this NFL season over any quarterback in the entire NFL. And for some of those statistics, it's not close. It's not close at all. If you want to, and I know I'm going to let Hunter give his argument and then we can go back to it again. But for me personally, based upon this last game against Pittsburgh, and we got one more game on Christmas against the Texans, he wins both of these games convincingly with his performance himself. I don't foresee him not winning MVP. For me, I don't see how he does not win the third MVP with these numbers that he's putting up week after week after week after week after week. For me, against, once again, quality opponents. And then here's the thing, and I'm going to let Hundo get to this in a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and state the first part of this. Lamar Jackson has already played the second person on this list, Josh Allen. And when they played, one quarterback performed at an MVP level, named Lamar Jackson. The other quarterback did not perform at an MVP level, named Josh Allen. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about it. So Lamar for MVP3. Come talk to me.
What's your question? Do we factor in bad losses with this as well? Is it just quality of performance, or is it also who you lost to?
I think when we talk about it, yes, you have to talk about your losses. However, your MVP is determined by your wins and your quote-unquote MVP moments, your MVP wins against your biggest opponents. So Josh is in this conversation because he's had some wins against.
Hold on. Bro, you just made your own category talking about some of your MVP wins. Bro, what?
No, I'm sorry, MVP moments. So I say that like this. When we talk about Heisman candidacy in college, we talk about Heisman, right? We talk about these young men having these top moments against, and for college, it's not even his best teams. You can have 400 yards against a trash team. They say, oh, that's a Heisman moment. He went crazy. Lamar Jackson, when he won the MVP and he won his Heisman, and he should have won 2 in college, by the way, but that's a whole other story for another day. When he won that Heisman that year, he had a crazy game against like UNC Charlotte. Like he had 8 touchdowns, and they were going fed. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I feel like personally when it comes to that, I feel the NFL kind of does some of that same stuff and does some of the same. They do their own narrative writing. I think that's a good thing. That's a good way to put it. They do a lot of narrative writing when it comes to these MVP. I just seen a post today, and it was crazy because Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen both threw interceptions yesterday in their games respectively. Lamar Jackson's interception was captioned and categorized as an interception in the caption, in the video, and everything. They categorized and captioned Josh Allen's as an arm punt to the 1-yard line. And I have never seen such a crazy narrative push in my entire life. Because if you also look at this stat line against the New England Patriots yesterday, he only had 1 touchdown and a pick against the New England, and they won by 3 points. And I know they're gonna say, "Oh, it's a division opponent." Lamar Jackson also played a division opponent yesterday in the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are top. They were top in our division. They were the number 3 seed in the AFC. Lamar Jackson only went out there and threw over 200 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and that's another thing. He hasn't even had to run this year. In his previous MVP years, he had to have 1,000 yards rushing and so many yards passing. Lamar Jackson's on pace for over 4,000 yards passing, and he still might get 1,000 yards rushing. If he really, really wanted to, he could do it, but he's probably not going to because he doesn't have to because he got Derrick Henry. So, man, for me, the case is clear and it's simple, bro. Lamar Jackson is the best player in the NFL this year.
All right, Zachary, go ahead.
John, that was a nice little 5-minute speech you just gave right there.
Yeah,
man.
I'm gonna get my charges. Go ahead, keep going.
That was beautiful, brother. That was beautiful. But what's your record?
Our record currently is 10-5. We are currently the 3 seed in the AFC, right behind the.
No, y'all not.
Well, we're going to be a 3 seed. How about that? Because the Pittsburgh Steelers about to lose to the Chiefs.
What's the Bills' record?
11-3. 12-3.
Does the team record as well as the stats play a part in MVP?
I think that it does if your team is the number 1 team.
Whoa, if.
Yes. And see, let me get my charger because I'm gonna come back and tell you exactly what I'm gonna go ahead, finish your statement. I'm gonna come back and argue that point.
So yeah, I think John in his 5-minute speech, he made some good points. But I will say that if the Ravens had the record that the Bills currently have, I think Lamar Jackson is the MVP. Yeah, they got the head-to-head performances. Cool. Josh Allen didn't show up. Okay, cool. FanDuel has this man, Josh Allen, negative 450 odds to win MVP. Lamar Jackson plus 380. Now, John, you're a betting man. What do those odds tell you?
The odds tell me that there's a narrative being written.
That's crazy. That's crazy. A narrative being written.
There's a narrative being written, bro. Because, and I'm gonna let you finish, and I'll rebuttal with my points. Go ahead.
Now, going back to you said something about MVP moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen just put up 6 touchdowns the week before.
There.
And guess who? Who they playing? Who they playing that week?
They played the Lions.
It's 6 against the Lions? Or was that the Rams game?
I think it was the Rams game.
You talking about the Lions or the Lions game, John?
I was talking about the Rams game.
Okay, yeah. They played the Lions the week after.
But he also put up good numbers against the Lions.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
And beat them.
He did.
Top team in the NFC. And didn't he beat the top team in the AFC?
He did. He beat them as well.
Okay.
Okay. These are solid arguments, Hundo. For sure.
Solid. Very solid. Very solid. But
that's all I'm saying, man. If we're gonna talk about MVP, it's not just the stats. The stats are cool. Okay, cool. We gotta look at your team record too. That's all I'm saying. If the Ravens had the record that the Bills have currently, Lamar Jackson's MVP. No question about it. But y'all got 5 losses. It's there. Y'all have 5 losses. That has to play a factor in it.
But
it does.
Would we be having the same narrative if Derek was playing in Buffalo and performing the same way? Like, I know they have James Cook, and James Cook is emerging, but he's not Derrick Henry. So now that you've added that weapon in Baltimore, I think that kind of takes away from the heroics that we're seeing with Josh Allen.
You're saying takes away from Lamar's legitimacy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like Josh is doing more with less. When we talk about MVP, most valuable player, I feel like it's Josh because when you look on that roster, especially offensively, it's like outside of tight end, it's a bunch of meh. And Josh is still putting up the same numbers he did with Stephon Diggs. Not denying Lamar's greatness, but it's like a lot of this is added on to the weapons that they added on. And then the offseason with Derek.
Most valuable player, not the best player.
Not most outstanding. We're talking about value.
That boy put the cape on over and over and over again.
And Lamar with that roster with Derek, did they beat Pat?
No, we did not beat Pat.
Josh without Diggs, did he beat Pat?
He did beat Pat.
And we said that the Chiefs were the team to beat. So when we talk about value, what did you do versus the contending teams?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hear what you're saying. Here's my rebuttal to y'all. I love it. I love this.
Talk to him, John.
I love this rebuttal, man. I love this talk. Okay.
Let's see.
So when we talk about this, bro, I think about
the move.
No, I'm not moving. I'm not moving the goalposts at all. I'm gonna give you straight facts. When Lamar Jackson won his 2 MVPs, he talked about doing more with less. For the first time in Lamar's career, in his MVP seasons, because he was injured in the other seasons when we quote unquote blah blah blah, right? And so in his MVP seasons, if you look at these rosters, Lamar had very close to nothing.
He had Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews in comparison to Derrick Henry. But that's another conversation for another day. Mark Andrews is very good. But that's just a whole other argument. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Bro, he's a top 3 tight end.
Correct. He is.
Derrick Henry's a top 3 running back.
Josh Allen had Stephon Diggs for how many years and never won MVP? Like, what are we saying here? Like, what is really the argument that you're trying to make with that point? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But what I'm trying to tell you is this:
we keep talking about this year.
Let me finish my statement before you relish the point that Josh Allen and everyone else has been relishing this fact. Oh, he doesn't have Stephon Diggs. First of all, Lamar in the past 2 seasons is just getting the help that he needs in the respective positions that he needs to play quarterback efficiently at running back and wide receiver. He's always had Mark Andrews, and he's used him to the best of his ability, just like Josh Allen did with Stephon Diggs, and was winning nothing. And Lamar's winning MVPs with his tight end. So that to me says a lot about once again, we got Lamar. But going back to his MVP season, when he won those MVPs, Lamar had to have the best record in his respective division and in the respective conference, the NFL. He had the best record in the NFL both times he won MVP. Look it up. The first year we went 14-2. I think we still had 16 games at that time in 2019. He was 14-2. He had 36-6 that year. Last year he won MVP. We had the best record again at 14-3. And he threw for, I think, almost 30 touchdowns again, and ran for another close to 1,000, if not 1,000. When Lamar has to win MVP, not only was he had the best statistical year, he also had the best record. So for me, with Josh not having neither the best record nor the best statistics, it's hard for me to categorize him. Oh, in addition to that, Lamar also had to have the best wins that year as well. Because at some point last year, Brock Purdy was the number 2 candidate for MVP before we played the San Francisco 49ers and blew them out the water. So, like, when it comes to Lamar, you talk about goalpost moving. Lamar has had the most goalpost moving every single year in his career, MVP or non-MVP year. Lamar has had the most goalpost moving stuff. And so this year, once again, we come to another crossroads where now the stats don't matter. The stats all of a sudden don't matter for MVP. Oh, he doesn't have the best record. Well, neither does Josh Allen. Josh Allen has a better record than us. He don't have the best record in the NFL. He don't have the best record in his conference. So it's like when you talk about that's the only thing you can argue is yes, he has a better record. The stats are clearly in Lamar's favor by far. Lamar has thrown over almost 10 more touchdowns than Josh Allen has. He almost has almost 400 to 500 more yards passing than Josh Allen has. The only thing Josh Allen has done more is run. And what was Lamar criticized for outside of college?
Win too.
Running.
Win. He's won more too.
Running.
He's won more too.
No.
He's won more too.
Let me finish. So it's crazy how now the goalpost has moved. Now that Lamar is not running as much.
You just answered your question though. Remember when I asked you earlier about the record mattering? You said when Lamar won,
he had the best record in the NFL.
He had the best record. Listen.
In
you
the
said
NFL.
he had the best record and he had the best stats. So clearly your record matters, right?
It plays a point when it comes to Lamar.
Okay, cool. That's all I'm saying.
So you have to have the best record or better than the person that you're going against.
For Lamar's case, he had to have the best record in the NFL. They were crowning Brock Purdy as an MVP before we played them last year. We had the same record going into that game on Christmas Day. If we had not won that game, they would have said Brock Purdy was the MVP of last season. And that's downright sad. It's sad. I'm telling you, the goalposts move so crazy when it comes to Lamar, man. I can't make this stuff up. You really can't make it up, bro. The narratives write themselves. Because once again, back to my point, if stats don't matter, then I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that Joe Burrow got better stats than Josh.
I don't think people are saying stats don't matter. What I'm saying is the stats and the record matter. Like I said, if y'all had the record that the Bills had, Lamar's the MVP.
Josh had some bad losses too, we're gonna admit. And Josh has had some quality wins. And I feel like what's weighted more, stats or record?
Clearly, it's this year's record. Clearly. Because, like I said, his stats aren't close to Lamar's. Lamar's literally blowing everybody in the NFL out of the water. Everybody.
Well, if we're going to look at stats, Joe Burrow putting up some great stats too. But, I mean, shoot.
They've not been Lamar's.
I mean, okay, yes. Not all of them. Not across the board. But look at passing yards and passing touchdowns.
Lamar still is leading the league in passing touchdowns and passing yards. Well, not passing yards, but passing touchdowns for sure.
So if that's the case, does Pat get any votes for MVP?
And that was my other point, because if the record matters so much, if Josh Allen's not leading his conference in it, it's like, well, okay, well, why Pat not in it?
But see, that's like, the thing. It's stats and record. Pat's stats are not good. That's why he's not in the conversation.
But his record's 14-1. So it's
it's both of them combined. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You keep looking at the stats, or you keep looking at the record. It's both of them.
Me personally, the goalpost moves. And I'll tell you offline why it moves. But the goalpost moves.
Nah. Say it here. Say it here. Let the people know. Let the people know.
Lamar Jackson's a black quarterback. And the NFL just really can't wrap their heads around the fact that this man is so good and continues to get better and better. He came out of Louisville. They wanted him to play wide receiver. They wanted him to play running back. They said he's not going to be good enough at quarterback to play in the NFL. When Josh Allen came out of Wyoming, the University of Wyoming, they were crowning him as a baby god out of the University out of Wyoming. I had never heard of a quarterback coming out of the University of Wyoming until Josh Allen came out.
But we can't do that though, John, because he's 1-2. The NFL's giving him his respect. This is a mono versus mono argument. I don't feel like race plays a factor this year. Me personally. Shoot.
Bro. And once again, here we go again. Because I tell you this, I mean, if you want to keep it on this year, that's fine. But they came out the same draft class, 2018. So they had the same amount of ample opportunity to do the same kind of stuff since they've been in the NFL. And who gets more slack every single year? Lamar Jackson. And I wonder why. Because once again, Stephon Diggs was on this team for how many years, and nobody ever said anything about Josh Allen not finishing the big game or winning the big game or getting over the hump. No one was.
They talked about they talked about
it. Stop,
Josh. They talked.
They were talking
about
it over Lamar. Come on, y'all. Y'all seeing the same stuff I'm seeing, bro. We got to start keeping it a stack.
They were talking about McDermott because they lost to the Kansas City again.
We got to start keeping it a stack. They have devalued the entire MVP award because Lamar was winning it. When Aaron Rodgers winning back-to-back MVPs, they were like, wow, he's one of the greatest of all time. And so now that Lamar's opportunity to get his third, it's like, I mean,
John,
hold on. They're literally saying now, we don't care if Lamar wins MVP anymore. It really doesn't matter. So it's like, what are we really saying? Like, I really want to understand, like, at what point are we going to, like, stop moving this goalpost when it comes to Lamar Jackson? Because everything that he seems to do, week after week, year after year, it just seems to be not good enough. And it's crazy. It is crazy. Y'all can talk about him winning the MVPs and him getting the quote-unquote respect. It's not real respect, bro. You got the ones that's like, okay, cool. But you got the same ones. You got Stephen A. Smith. You got these guys like him on these shows talking about some MVP, MVP. Like, it don't really matter. And it's like, now if it was somebody else, we would be saying, oh my God, he's the greatest ever. Every season, Joe Burrow comes in as the greatest ever, no matter what he's done the year before. They put him, nobody wants to see the Bengals. And every year I say, as someone who watches the Bengals every year as a Ravens fan who's in their division, all right, y'all giving them too much gas coming into this season. They were talking about, it's going to be so great. The Bengals are going to be this, and that. We see the Bengals are right now. We gotta start like looking at this in like real time, in like real life. Because once again, Josh Allen came in 2018, the same year as Lamar Jackson. The same year. So they've had the same amount of time. And let the people tell it. Josh Allen's had more weapons, more that. And they've done this. Hold on. They've done the same amount of losing. When it comes to it, because the people are talking about this, playoffs. Lamar can't do this. They lose the same amount every time. They lose the pack all the time, but only one person gets the flight for it. When they talk about Josh, he's Patrick's biggest rival. Patrick doesn't want to see him in the playoffs. That's the narrative, and y'all know it to be true. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Listen, going off of the question, I heard a lot of historical data. This year,
I told you this year. I think, me personally, once again, y'all see that name right there? John. My last name is Carmichael. Listen, I think that Lamar Jackson is the league MVP. I know that Josh Allen is a good quarterback. I've said it before and I'll say it again. He's a very good quarterback. He's had a very good season. When I look at the season in its totality, I think that both of these quarterbacks, take away from their teams are not as good. Either one of them. I look at the Ravens without Lamar, we suck. I know that. I can be honest and say without Lamar, we're bad. You can look at Josh Allen and the Bills, they're equally, if not worse than us, still very bad. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I would say that when you look at the numbers, when you look at the teams that are being played, because now, once again, like I said, these upcoming weeks, we now have the Steelers this past Sunday, and we have the Texans this upcoming week. 2 playoff teams. You got Josh Allen playing the Patriots, barely winning. He's gonna play the Jets this week. I don't know what's gonna happen. You got the Patriots again. We talk about these wins and quality wins. I mean, at what point are we gonna be like, come on now, let's be honest.
All right. So, Hondo, you got any other rebuttals on that?
This man talking about quality wins again.
Yeah,
what about the losses? What about the losses?
But I mean, the losses are set in stone at this point. They're gonna have a better record than us, unless they lose these last 2 games. And if they do that, I mean, clearly the MVP is gonna be Lamar Jackson. But I don't foresee them losing these last 2 games. They shouldn't. I also didn't see them barely winning last week, so I don't know.
So, okay, question for you. So, if Josh Allen wins these last 2 games,
me, based on last week, he has to win them convincingly.
Huh?
To me, personally, he has to win these last 2 games convincingly.
So if he does that, he's the MVP?
I still wouldn't give it to him, but that's just me.
Oh, okay.
Do the Chiefs have the number 1 seed locked up?
Yep. Because even if they lose the next 2 games,
no, they don't. If they lose, the next 2 games, Buffalo win the next 2 games. Buffalo got the tiebreaker over them.
Buffalo would jump them. But I don't think the Chiefs. I don't think they lose the next 2.
Hey, they could, man. They could.
They got Pittsburgh at home.
They got Pittsburgh on the road, and then they got to play the Broncos.
They're going to Pittsburgh?
Yep. They on the road the last 2 games.
Then the Broncos, you said?
Yep.
They're going to beat the Broncos. Unless they rest in Pat.
Yep, we're going to see.
The Broncos ain't good. So that's not much confidence.
Hey, the Broncos about to be in the playoffs, man.
We'll see.
Are we counting as quality win? Because once again, that helps my case because Lamar smacked the crap out of the Broncos. So are they good or they not good? You tell me.
Bro, they are good, bro. Who was questioning them about quality wins, bro? You the only one talking about quality wins, bro. I'm talking about y'all losses.
Yeah, we just lost over the Raiders game. I was like, okay, I'm gonna let it slide. Cause
say it again.
So we're not talking about the bad
Raiders, bro. Get out of here.
Say it again.
So now he can't hear.
No, y'all lost. Real. Yeah, we did.
Now his Wi-Fi not working.
I mean, are we gonna y'all gonna go game for game and talk about bad games versus bad game? Is that what we're doing? Because Josh Allen had a game we threw 50 picks.
No, listen. We just want you to acknowledge that y'all have 5 losses and the Bills have 3.
I have acknowledged that. I have acknowledged that they're gonna have a better record than us by 2 games. Correct.
All right, cool.
So how many games this season has Lamar played a bad game, John?
In the losses that we have, Lamar has played a bad game in. He didn't play bad against the Chiefs. He played bad against the Raiders. He played bad against the Browns.
I forgot about the Browns.
And then he didn't play that bad against Philly. And the other game we lost was
y'all lost to Boswell.
Oh, yeah, we did lose to Pittsburgh. Yeah, we lost to Boswell. So we lost to 2 divisional games and then 3 games which definitely should have. Yeah, 2 divisional games, 1 or 2 of them. So I'd say out of those losses, I put 2 of them on Lamar. I put 2 of them on Lamar. The ones that we out of the 5 that we lost, 2 of them on Lamar.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't think it's a wide margin, but this season, because nobody was expecting with the Buffalo Bills losing Diggs, they were not expecting Buffalo to have this kind of season. And I just feel like if we ask everybody in that Buffalo organization, who is this because, everybody would say Josh Allen. And
I hope so. I hope if they want to keep their jobs, they would say Josh Allen.
Yeah, but I mean, with the Ravens, yes, Lamar's a big factor, but Derrick Henry has been a huge component on this.
Yeah, but hold on. If Derrick Henry once again, because he's had 1,000-yard seasons for the past 10 years in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And what has happened because of that?
I'm not denying the wins are attributed to both of them in the backfield. But what I'm saying is your argument hurts because the years before you said that Lamar did not have good rosters and he put the team on his back and won the MVP. That same thing is happening this season when he has nobody and he put the team on their back. So
nobody? So James Cook don't exist.
Come on now. Let's stop, John. Stop it.
So hold on.
I
was saying James Cook not good now?
Stop it.
So you're saying James Cook not good now?
Hey, that goalpost moving, bro.
Stop it, John. Like John, you reaching. You're reaching. Like nobody out here is saying that Josh Allen has a top weapon on his offense at any position. Maybe offensive line with Deion Dawkins.
I really can't believe you just discredited James Cook like that.
Is James Cook a top 5 running back?
In the AFC?
Oh, now it's the name.
Oh, we talking about the league.
Oh,
come on, John.
Oh my goodness. He go talking about something in the AFC.
Like in New York? Like what? No, in the league.
But he got 14 touchdowns and almost 1,000 yards on the ground.
Good night. All right, chat. Like L chat. I see where you're going with this. This is nasty work. Nasty work. No way we have a conversation. Like if Baltimore signed James Cook this offseason, you're not saying anything, bro. You're like, okay. Now I'm not denying he hasn't had a good season, but in terms of top 5 in the league, nobody's saying James Cook. We can.
No, he's not top 5 in the league. No.
Do they have a top 5 receiver?
No.
The only top player I can think of is Josh.
Okay.
And they still have a better record than Baltimore.
They do have a better record than us. That is correct. But I'm trying to figure out at what point are we going to say, okay, cool. Yes, the record is better. And we can continue to acknowledge that all day. If he's not the best in his conference, what are we saying? Because once again,
we beating a dead horse, bro. We beating a dead horse, bro. Because clearly he's not understanding that there's multiple factors outside of stats. Clearly, it's clear.
We're talking about records. So clearly we're talking about outside of stats.
That's an L chat.
Clearly,
yeah, it's clear.
Listen, Nick, people, we just not going to agree on it, and that's okay. That's fine.
All right, man. We're way past time because we just can't be honest in here. So I just pray
the goalpost moves. The goalpost moves a lot, chat. The goalpost moves a lot.
Now we gotta open it up to the people. I gotta see what they want because we need a consensus.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah.
I want the people to open it up. We put a poll out, but y'all put it on personal Instagram.
We're gonna put a poll out. Make sure y'all vote.
Please.
And
please.
We gonna put
you want to give some correspondence of why you chose.
Additional feedback.
Please.
Yeah,
and I'll read it off. We can read it off on the next pod or whatever the case is, man.
Yeah, DMs are open.
Please.
Yeah.
Put it all in the comments. I want to see it all, man. I want to see it all.
For sure.
I mean, best in the league, bro. It's not close. It was not close, bro.
Not close. That's crazy. This is crazy.
I just told this man what the FanDuel odds was.
Man,
talking about it's not close. It definitely ain't close, but not for your way.
And that's fine. FanDuel's wrong a lot, actually. So I'm okay.
Hey,
I'm okay. People come up every day because FanDuel be wrong, so it's fine.
FanDuel about to come up. Go ahead and place your bet on Lamar Jackson so they can take your money. Donations, gifts.
All right, man. So hope y'all enjoyed this episode, man. We will be back with more content next week, more NFL games coming. We look forward to the playoffs, man. So appreciate y'all for tuning in this long with us. Look forward to the next episode, man. We out.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, man.
Merry Christmas.